So this question, what is an annulment? So this comes up from time to time. You'll be in a short-term marriage, or you never actually live together, or things like that. And so it comes to mind, what's an annulment? Can I get an annulment? So an annulment is basically asking a court to declare that your marriage was never valid in the first place. So you file a complaint for annulment instead of a complaint for divorce, with the idea of ending the marriage, but also with the idea that legally the marriage was never a valid marriage in the first place. And so that's the idea how an annulment looks and what you would be doing. So there are circumstances where you could do one, of course. They're not as common as you might think. They don't come up that frequently. They have nothing to do with whether you lived together or things like that. They come more along the lines of a defect. The way Michigan does it, there has to be a legal defect that makes a marriage not valid in the first place. Let's say like you were already married to someone else and then you get married again. That second marriage would not be valid, and either you or your wife, not really your wife, would have the ability to file for an annulment instead of a divorce in that situation. Or if you married someone who did not have the legal capacity to agree to be married, or if you're looking at you got married to somebody that's under 16, because in Michigan the legal age to get married is age 16. So you could get into those sorts of situations where you would have grounds, you'd have a basis for an annulment. Or if you're married to someone that's closer to your relationship than a first cousin type of thing. So these are all like very unusual, exceptional kind of situations, not normally going to come up, not normally what you hear. It's not usually going to be something like, well, we just, she tricked me and told me we were going to do this and that, and now we're not. Those things are not usually a reason for an annulment. You can make a claim of fraud. You could claim, sometimes you'll hear claims of like, my wife told me that she was able to have children and she's not able to have children, and that's kind of a deal breaker, and I don't want to proceed with this marriage based on that. And you could be looking at an annulment as opposed to a divorce. In general, an annulment is much harder to do. You have to actually prove something when you're filing for an annulment, and when you go to court to do your court case for your annulment, you have to actually prove something. With a divorce, you don't have to prove anything. A divorce, you may file a complaint for divorce and you want a divorce, you get one. There's no legal factors that you have to prove. There's nothing you have to establish to make your case and have your divorce be granted. You want a divorce, you get one. An annulment is different. You have to actually prove the elements of the particular annulment, the reasons that you're claiming that there's a legal claim that the marriage was not valid in the first place. So it's a whole different kind of thing, a whole different ballgame. But that gives you some ideas. Hopefully that helps with really what an annulment is and what it's all about. It's basically a declaration of a marriage not being valid. Don't forget to subscribe. Great things can happen when you subscribe to our channel and like the video. We appreciate it. But yeah, in general, it's not going to be these situations that you would normally think of why you would need an annulment, which is fine. It's no big deal. You just do a divorce instead. So hopefully that helps. Thanks.